We are here. The war to end all wars. In the world of professional wrestling, sports, entertainment. As the war for professional wrestling and sports entertainment rages between the Blackpool Combat Club, Eddie Kingston, Santana, Ortiz, aka LAX as I like to shortly call them, against the Jericho Appreciation Society that basically worship Jericho and everything he does because he is the ultimate sports entertainer. Unless you're Cena, then in which case then Jericho will be usurped after that. But we'll never see Cena in AEW, even if he watches the product. Like, he won't say it because you know who's gonna have a fit about that. We can't have that at all. But enough about that craziness. Let's talk about blood and guts. And more specifically the match, because if I talk about the entire show, I've sadly missed all of it. I managed to watch the blood and guts right when work ended, so woo! Oh god, this is the match that people have been waiting for a while now. Especially after last year's ending fiasco, since at least you could say that was experimental time, and now they've adapted, they've learned, they could probably do much better than what they did last time with the ending. But let's see if they'll do it. Let's see if they've learned. And quite honestly, I think they've learned a lot from their first attempt, and now they have a much bigger force going on with the Jericho Appreciation Society, which consists of 3 members of the Inner Circle, Daniel Garcia, and 2.0, but really, who's counting on those guys? My buddy King doesn't like 2.0. He thinks Daniel Garcia is being wasted being with them. Though, let's be real, it's the rule of everyone must be in a faction or have a manager, or you will never be pushed. That seems to be the AEW way. They take New Japan system and complicate it to the extreme. Heck, it even looks like Ruby Soho might ally herself with Blackpool Combat Club, which would be an interesting dynamic, but I'll get to that in a moment. But yeah. And then you got Bryan Danielson out with an injury. Damn you, injury plague. And which denied us the gloriousness of Zack Sabre Jr., and if you wish to check out my previous video about Forbidden Door, check out the message from above, the stinger right there, and you'll be able to see my initial thoughts during the event, and it was live. Woo! But after Bryan's down and out injury, we had to call in the big guns. We had to call in Claudio. I would try to pronounce his name, but every time I seem to mispronounce it, no matter how many times I hear the announcers. Also formerly known as Cesaro. The Swiss Superman is in AEW, and he got an awkward hug from Tony Khan that led to all the toxic masculinity from Vince Russo and that other guy that no one really cares about. Who was it again? I kind of forgot. Basically, they kept saying, "Stop being a man, be a man. You hear me? You need to be a man." Who was it? Vince Russo and Dutch Mantel. Basically former people that used to be important but are not important anymore in the wrestling industry. And I even said this. I would rather much have a geeky boss than a ruthless two-faced one. And is it awkward? I'll admit it was awkward. It was pretty weird. But it just shows his genuine love and passion for the wrestling business. And yes, we can acknowledge Vince hugs his wrestlers too, and then compliments them. And then he'll backstab them when he feels like it. Ain't that right, Keith Lee? We all know how that turned out. Son, I think you got a lot of potential. You have a lot of main event potential. Tell him he needs to season up. Sir, we have Nia Jax. Funk that. We're gonna tell Keith Lee's the problem here. But sir, Nia Jax has injured 20 people on the roster already. She even injured Kairi Sane 3 times in the same year. Thank you. So, yeah, Vince's opinion has lost considerable weight for me. And I'm pretty sure a lot of wrestlers feel, yeah, we can't trust what he says. So, yeah, Claudio and Jake Hager will soon eventually meet with the "We the People" chants. That's surprised Jericho didn't like cut to himself ordering the camera crew to come to him and say, "Stupid idea for bad creative." Call back to the second episode. But yeah, this match was blood and guts personified, much more than the last one, and that had a lot of blood and guts. I'm waiting to see when WWE responds, thinking it will set the business back for another 20 years, even though they just did Zombies the 2 weeks after. Because that didn't set the business back. This kind of match does, even though you did the kind of violent, grotesque imagery without the blood and guts at your War Games. You turned it into a weapons fest. But okay, we can ignore the logistical errors in your argument, but okay. And we had this moment with Jake Hager and Claudio going to war. We get "We the People" chants. We got Wheeler Yuta being awesome, and by God, the best thing to happen to him, since he probably wouldn't have gotten this if Daniel Garcia was still considered the option. But I think the funniest and greatest moment of this match, which is saying a lot because because Moxley brought shards of glass and cuts him open. Daniel Garcia, and then we get an Age of the Fall recreation where I think it was Daniel Garcia. Let me double check on that. Like, one of my buddies talked about it. Oh god, it was so crazy that they went there. Let's see. It was weird. Like, I kept thinking more along the lines of Age of the Fall. Like, he's hung down and he's unconscious and okay. Daddy Magic, as he's called. Yeah, I think it's Daniel Garcia. I could be wrong. I keep trying to keep track of everybody around that I have a hard time recognizing, especially when the Jericho Appreciation Society is wearing matching outfits. But yeah, yeah, Daniel Garcia, I believe, was the one hanging upside down, bleeding profusely, and I'm like, Age of the Fall, baby. So, seems we got Blackpool Combat Club has decided to recreate the Age of the Fall sacrificial lamb style. And then Eddie Kingston comes out. The funniest moment after Jericho gets in, Eddie Kingston comes in, and he's just like, I have this kid to stick. Nothing's gonna keep me apart from you, Jericho. I will protect you, Jericho. Yeah, Kingston just swatted the JAS of almost everything, like just a, you are not important to me. You are not important to me either. Then going on the offensive when Sammy Guevara was the most defensive guy. And, man, Eddie Kingston, oh god, he's going to be a phenomenal world champion next year. I'm still confident in that opinion. He's going to be a phenomenal champion because heading into this, we already had an established storyline with Eddie Kingston and Claudio. And him and Claudio got at it after Forbidden Door, where Eddie Kingston's just cursing and screaming at Claudio because he has to partner with one of his mortal enemies of the past. And plus, you could also unless you really had to go back and look at the footage, look at the archival continuity, which I will respect with all hell that they keep this together. There's this established history between Claudio and Eddie Kingston that I didn't know about much. I didn't even know they hate each other. Eddie Kingston did say once that let me just say that this guy has no balls to show up here on Twitter. That he revealed, yeah, I'm definitely talking about Cesaro. And the fact that Eddie Kingston is in this kind of demented state of insanity where he's like, do I destroy Chris Jericho or do I yield my hatred to Bryan Danielson and Claudio? My vengeance will be swift. Like, imagine what's going to be like when he is the AEW World Champion. Like, you could easily make him a heel. The big heel world champion after MJF. Like, after halfway through his reign, he turns heel, like, CM Punk style, but without the bad politics behind it. And he just goes to war with the Blackpool Combat Club. He goes after Bryan, Claudio. He feuds with CM Punk again. That would be awesome. Like, those 3 feuds alone would be enough to give you at least a good maybe 6 months of content, especially if they do some rematches from time to time or tag team matches. But yeah, Eddie Kingston's gonna be a phenomenal champion. I just know it. Just seeing how he's keeping this idea of him. And plus, I kept thinking, like, maybe, like, and people will be like, well, then why does he still hang out with Jon Moxley, knowing that Jon Moxley ditched his ass to the sports entertainers? Well, that was true. He did hate the guy. Until Moxley was almost killed by Kenny Omega and his gang of elite goons. Sadly was unable to deliver Explosion because the production company wanted to be lazy the final day. And now Tony's trying to see if he can absolve that. But yeah, and like Eddie Kingston, man, he's just so great. I could go on and on praising Eddie Kingston. Like, he is the Mad King. He has earned this. He also brought rubbing alcohol, but that's not really important. That wasn't really used much in the match. He also threw thumbtacks in Jericho's face and probably his mouth and nose and eyes. So I'm pretty sure he's going to be shitting out thumbtacks if he swallowed them. Let's see. He also continues to try and... He also has... he has to go up on top of something, and he's admitted on multiple occasions he's afraid of heights. And he's like, my hatred will be his undoing. Like, he channeled dark side energy in him, and it's like, my hatred will make me powerful. And climbs up there to chase Jericho, and threatens to destroy him, and plans to throw him off. But Sammy Guevara, not wanting to have a repeat of what happened last time, in a awesome callback. I don't know if that was deliberate. I wouldn't be surprised if they did that, since continuity is a very deep thing for them. I wouldn't be surprised if they went through with, like, okay, we're gonna go ahead, Sammy Guevara, you're making this. Wait, does that mean I have to make the fall? Yes. I'll do it. And sure enough, Eddie Kingston throws Sammy off the cage, and he crawls to his death. AKA crashes into the table and is brutally down for the rest of the match. And Mad King Kingston is he's thriving in the agony of his victims. And then right before Jericho looks like he has the chance now, but Jericho has a chance, and then Cesaro, Claudio, comes in and makes the save to his mortal enemy. He is the Swiss Superman, damn it. And he prepares to put him in a giant swing, only for Menard to come in and make the save. I will save you, Jericho! And Kingston locks in a submission to Jericho while Claudio does the same to Menard, and this is where things got interesting. The ladder taps out. Jericho does not. And Kingston, instead of being happy, like, yeah, we did it, we got our revenge, he's like, not satisfied. I wanted Jericho to tap. He's like Prince Vegeta a little bit. He's channeling Vegeta like, I wanted the credit. I wanted all this. I earned this moment. Only for Claudio to come in and steal his moment from him. His vengeance, his anger brewed over it big time. Yeah, and sadly Santana might have injured his leg when he did a Uranagi, so he was out for most of the match. Damn. Like I looked at the replay, yeah, his knee buckled, and I was like, damn the injury bug. I was hoping he would avoid this event. But yeah, Kingston and Claudio, maybe the next big match, special grudge match between them at AEW All Out, which will be awesome. But yeah, Kingston is mad. He's furious. Claudio's trying to say, we did it, man. And it's like, no, I wanted to do it. I wanted to finish this. And William Regal's on commentary, and the commentary team's just completely wrecked for this match. Now, you're probably wondering, what happened to Ty Conti? She was out there with them. Oh, that's actually quite simple. She was going to help, then got her ass kicked by Ruby Soho, and Taz called her Riot. So I'm sure that's not going to piss anyone off and make Tribalists go crazy. So that happened, and now I'm thinking, oh god, could Ruby Soho join Blackpool Combat Club? They mentioned how she's buddies with Jon Moxley and Eddie Kingston. She could join either one of them, and it would be hell to pay. But yeah, the story, while it has Claudio taking out the victory for the Blackpool Combat Club and LAX for the most part, the story clearly is like, this is mostly Kingston's story. He's trending to darker paths, and now it's going to reach a point where he's gonna make Jon Moxley choose. He's gonna make Jon Moxley choose Blackpool Combat Club or me. And he's gonna go Anakin Skywalker probably and be like, if you're not with me, then you're my enemy. And Jon Moxley's like, you were the chosen one. Instead, you would destroy the sports entertainers, not join them. Bring balance to wrestling, not leave it in darkness. I know I'm being dramatic for the sake of it, but I just wanted to do that. I've been on a Star Wars kick lately. Sue me. So, now that that's happened, I am now hoping that we start that as Eddie Kingston starts teetering more towards his darkness, and Kingston's story continues throughout the AEW franchise. Essentially, I'm looking forward to what happens next. I'm pretty certain he's gonna fight Claudio at AEW All Out. I don't know what Santana Ortiz does, especially if Santana's out for a bit. Let's hope it was just a tweak and he's all right. Wheeler Yuta is gonna be soon defending the Pure Championship by death before dishonor, probably heading into July. Jon Moxley is the interim AEW World Champion, and he'll be worried about the Rampage, Rumble Battle Royal. They don't say Royal Rumble, but it's clear what they're referencing, to determine who's going to challenge him as CM Punk recovers from his injury. And yeah, it seems like everyone has a story going on for them. Isn't that surprising? Except for Santana Ortiz, that mostly varies if Santana is hurt really badly. But if they do that, if Santana just tweaked his knee and is all right at the end of all this, then I could totally see him and Ortiz feuding with the Young Bucks again, and then FTR gets involved, and this leads into triple threat. Yeah, I know the AEW tag team division does that a lot, like they do multi-man tag team matches, but I think they just realized we built so many tag teams and we don't have the trios title yet until Kenny Omega gets back, which is now becoming less of a certainty since he just came out saying that if he sees another setback, he's stunned, which is like, what have you done, man? So yeah, looking forward to what happens next, and it's gonna be a wild ride. Blood and guts match, man. What will they do next year? I can only imagine. So, this was Near Reality The WrestleVerse, brought to you by the Destiny of Pro Wrestling banner, as I keep going for a while. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, check out my content in the description below. Stay tuned for more. I'll see y'all next time. Peace and take care. I'll see y'all again next time. And this was Eric Brown hosting the show. Oh, you're wondering about the music change. It's because I just wanted to use it. I wanted to try something new with this format as we enter this new period of wrestling called Destiny of Pro Wrestling, as I call it. We'll be seeing you all again next time. Take care, everybody, and peace out.